Welcome to Southminster Steinhauer United Church. And we are greeted by one piano, 4.5 hands. And we're grateful for it. Welcome to each and every one of you as we continue our journey toward Christmas in this season of Advent, lighting our way with candles and with the light of our principles, our values, our faith as we move forward into this season. We do that together with each other. And this week it looks a little bit more like the season approaching Christmas. We have white on the ground here in Edmonton. We have some frost stuck to the branches of the trees. We have a dim gray sky. And you've got a person here with an unusually strange voice. So my apologies in advance. Here in Edmonton, we have, as we gather, we welcome, of course, not only folks that are experiencing this week here in Edmonton, but folks that are experiencing this week from a number of different places. Maybe you're traveling, maybe you're gathering in Saskatoon. You are welcome as part of this community. We are one community in many places. As we gather, wherever you happen to be joining not only folks that are experiencing this week here in Edmonton, but folks that are experiencing this week from a number of different places. Maybe you're traveling, maybe you're gathering in as we light the candle, the community candle, are welcome as part of this morning. We are one community in many places. We remind ourselves, not only folks that are experiencing each time we gather, of the kind of community we want to be. And by extension, the kind of lives we want to live as individuals and together. As we want to be community candle, as inclusive as we possibly can. Which means that as a community, we welcome all people, all sizes, all shapes, all colors, all cultures, of the kind of community all traditions, all religions, many or none. That's the way it ought to be. We are one community that, regardless of who we are, we come as we are. We are accepted and affirmed. And this week it looks a little bit more just like the season approaching Christmas. As we light our candles for Advent this week, it's the second Sunday of Advent, which means we light 2 candles. Sometimes things are just far too planned out. So today is about finding people to light our candles right in the moment. So today I would like, please, to invite someone that is that would consider themselves a wise elder. You can interpret wise any way you want, and you can interpret elder any way you want. I would like one volunteer, please. And because, we are serious about being all ages welcome and affirmed, we do things intergenerationally. So even if that means that we're not in one family, we are part of one community. So I'm inviting, please, one elder and one young person that could be any age. Here we go. Okay, wise elders, why are you taking so long? Where are you? Here's one. Look, Pat, thank you. Look at that. All right. So, we're going to start with you, please, and I would like you to light that taper candle from here. And we're going to light this candle right here, which we lit last week. And it reminds us of the way we have hope as we approach Christmas and live through these weeks. Thank you very much. And Pat is going to light a second candle of your choosing that reminds us of this week's journey with peace. Thank you very much. An uninhibited 80-year-old. Okay, great. We've lit our candles, we've celebrated, we've gathered as community. Let's sing our way into this season of Advent, singing about the wonderful values, principles, and ethics of this season as we sing about how we journey through this season.
We gather with gratitude for this place we now sit, for the reality that this is ancient and beautiful land, part of our Mother Earth, sacred in its very existence. We are grateful for the land, cared for by the indigenous ones who dwell here, for the Cree people, the Papas-Chase First Nation, for the Métis of Central Alberta. We recognize the hurt that has come as a result of the land, and the hope of reconciliation and partnership we might live now and in the future. If you would opening of our mentions, please. We are grateful for the gifts of this season. As darkness stretches our nights and shortens our days, quiet possibilities germinate. In the season of legends and myths, of new and old traditions, may we rediscover our capacities to live the best of our humanity. We gather to be inspired to live with hope and expectation, finding the miracles in the ordinary, newness where we least expect it, and wonder in the midst of trouble and beauty. May it be so.
It's time for our carpet time for all ages, small or tall. You are welcome on the carpet or to come close in the chairs or to stay where you are. It's all fine. Good morning. I want to share a story with you today about peace. Do you have an idea of what the word peace means? What do you think? Yes, peace is the opposite of war. Peace where you don't fight. And you don't have to be a country to have peace. You could be a person that has peace, which means you probably aren't going to be fighting. Peace means there's no fighting between, but peace between your siblings or between your friends. But peace can mean more than that too. Peace might be kind of a way you feel. Instead of feeling scared, or instead of feeling anxious or angry, you might feel peace inside of you. So it's kind of lots of things. It's the way it might be the way you feel. It's also the way we act with others. So Tyler, can you sit on the carpet? I need everyone on the carpet this morning. Thank you. Because we're going to do something very special on the carpet. Yes, you can be next to me. That's excellent. Here's the story I want to read about peace. It's called, there it is, 3 Lines in a Circle. 3 Lines in a Circle. Michael G. Long wrote this book, and it's illustrated by Carlos Velez. Here we go. Jerry hovered over his drafting table. A drafting table is a big table where you can draw and create things. Now, Tyler, I don't think you can see the pictures if you're there. Thank you. Come over here. And also your head. We want everyone to see the pictures. Okay, great. Backing up is just very nice. Thank you, Tyler. Jerry hovered over his drafting table and began to draw his dream. His dream. One line, straight down. One line to the right. One line to the left. Then a circle. That was all, just 3 lines in a circle. Do you see it there on his table? That's it, Jerry thought. A symbol of my dream, a world without bombs. Energized and excited, Jerry asked people who shared his dream to share his design with other people who also had that dream. But one man made fun of it. One person said, "That doesn't mean a thing. It's just a bunch of lines and a circle. Who cares about that?" Well, was he ever wrong? That little picture caught on all over London, all over England, standing for ban the bomb. No more bombs. March from London. So people were wanting to say no more bombs, and they found that that was an amazing picture that they could use. Then it sailed on to the United States of America, where it also caught on, standing for make peace, not war. We talked about that, right? Peace instead of war. Oh, yes, indeed. It caught on and on and on, standing for peace for all, and especially for black people and brown people, and all genders and poor people, and LGBTQ plus people, and people with disabilities. It sailed on across the globe where it caught on, standing for peace for all, and especially for black people in South Africa, unity in Germany, Aboriginal people in Australia.
There is places that don't have peace right now.
You're absolutely right. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Absolutely. Oh my, how it caught on and on and on. Now, we'll come back to that. Peace, peace, peace. Here we go, the next picture. Peace for all, and especially for earth and animals and fish and birds. It caught on and on until today, when it stands for so many things. Peace and Black Lives Matter. Peace and end gun violence. Peace and stop climate change. Peace and believe women. Peace. 3 lines in a circle, catching on, fighting on, moving on to you. To you. That's the end of the story. It's just a story about this simple little picture. Before we talk about that a little bit more, can everyone touch the carpet? Okay, excellent. Can everyone in their chairs have their hand on their leg? Get your pointer finger ready. We're going to practice this. Okay. I want you to draw on the carpet on your leg Carpets are great places to draw, by the way, because it's like magical eraser. You can draw it and then you can erase it. You just use your imagination. Draw one line straight up and down. One line, straight up and down. And then about halfway through that line, draw a line to the left going down, and then a line to the right going down. You can see the picture so you can see. And then draw a big circle around it. That's a peace sign. And that peace sign has a long story. We heard a little bit about it. At the end of this book, you can read a whole lot more about it. I'm not going to read that part to you. Now, in all of this story, when all of these things were going on, and when all these people used this symbol, this picture, to talk about peace, there wasn't peace in some places. There were wars going on. There were people being quite nasty and mean to each other. There was mistreatment of animals and the earth. There were a lot of things going on, but we need this idea about peace, and we need a symbol of peace to remind us that we can always tell our friends, our families, even our countries.
The peace thing is on the love.
Yeah, look, they used it as an O, didn't they? In the word love. We always need this sign, we always need peace, and we always need to remember to keep each other reminded about it. That we want to have peace inside and peace in the world. So that's why we drew it, so that we can remember it, okay? Peace. Thank you. Thank you for that. So how do you think about Kid Spirit today? There might be some Christmas things going on. Oh, yes. So you're invited to go with Daisy and Ariane to Kid Spirit. You're invited to stay. You're invited to play. Whatever it is that you want to do today. a chance for a few invitations this morning. First of all, Allison and Zoe, you're right on schedule to talk to us about something that we might participate in following this gathering.
Wow, it's nice to be up here again. It's been so long. Wow, we're so thrilled to see all you this morning. We'd love for you to come and spend time with us for an extended Emberwood opportunity this morning. Post-gathering, we'll do an indoor sort of eco experience. We'll bring nature inside. We'll spend some time doing some quiet reflection about whatever is happening. The gathering today, perhaps things that are going on in your daily lives. And then we'll eat a nice meal together. We're going to go cook after this, so then we'll feed you. You don't have to do anything but show up. You didn't need to tell us that you were coming in advance. You didn't need to say anything. You just get to be here.
So, well, here's how it will actually look. After the service, you grab your coffee and then come straight to the small hall. Those of you who want this indoor nature time. It won't last too long, maybe 45 minutes. So grab your coffee, come over there, and we'll have our soup. And it is dairy-free, it has dairy-free options, gluten-free options, low FODMAP options, if your guts are, yeah. So we got you covered. There'll be something for you to eat. So looking forward to seeing you after the service for a tiny bit. We'll think about peace after today's service about peace. All right, thanks.
And if by chance you don't see me at the door on your way out today, it's because I'm having an indoor eco nature experience as well. So come and join us there. Some exciting news. As part of our 25th affirming anniversary, at the very start of 2024, we have the opportunity to invite and welcome an evening with Ivan Coyote, Canadian author, speaker, with a lot of amazing and wonderful things to say, not just to us, but to the world. And we don't have all the details ironed out. We know the date. It is Sunday, January the 21st in the evening. The tickets will be available soon, and more details about how the evening will shape up. But in the meantime, a number of us want to give you, if you haven't already had a taste of Ivan Coyote, a little taste of them today by way of a video of them speaking at an engagement a few years ago during the pandemic. And this will just give you a tiny taste and a teaser of who Ivan Coyote is, and more to come, of course. Here's a short video.
So I wrote these words that I'm going to read for you today while I was drinking coffee in my mom's little place by the Yukon River, watching the river roll by on the traditional territories of the Kwanlin Dun First Nation and the Tahan Quechan Council, who are the original and rightful caretakers of this place that is known as Whitehorse, the northern city where I was born and raised. And I'm spending the summer at home in the bush to work on this little cabin that I'm building and to take care of my father, who is struggling with the mid-grade, and I would guess, most scary and confusing days of dementia. And I was born in the hospital right across that river, that mighty Yukon River, in August of 1969. I'm a little older than I look. My tip is drink lots of water. And I have two grandmothers, a grandfather, three uncles, and a cousin buried right behind the hospital in the Grey Mountain Cemetery. I'm a very proud third-generation Yukoner. My family's been in the territory since 1949. And most people who've lived there for any length of time know at least four of my relatives, I'd say. And I've left this place, or that place, and returned many times but has never ever been gone from my veins or my sense of self or where I belong. But like so many queer and trans and non-binary people, I had to leave my home behind when I was young. I had to travel to, or I felt like I had to, and I think I was right back then, I had to travel to a bigger, more anonymous and diverse place in order to become myself. And we talk a lot these days about diversity. We talk about capital E, equity, and inclusiveness. These are great conversations to have. I think we all benefit from these conversations, but sometimes we talk about these concepts so much that the human hearts and lives at the center of it all become obscured by policy and directives and 12-point plans. And sometimes I worry that we forget to remember the why of it all. So, I'm a storyteller. That's my job. And the storyteller in me just wants to roll it back and start at the beginning. Find the root of my why and follow that to the reason we are all gathered here today. Yeah? You with me? So, if I boil it all down, I think, and I've been thinking a lot about what I was going to say to you here today. I'm building a cabin 200 kilometers away. I can't even get the freaking Sirius satellite radio to work for the last like 60 kilometers where I'm going, right? So I have a lot of time to think. And I think it comes down to belonging, to being permitted to belong, to feeling like you can take up the space and truly belong somewhere. And what I wish is that someone else had done the work to make my hometown a little safer for me back in 1985, when I felt like I had to hightail it out of there. And I wish to this day that place was more welcoming, even today, of all the people that I see living and working there now. I wish that we all felt equally valued and listened to and cared for. And I wish I still didn't feel like I have to speak up and remind the powers that shape that place what it would take for me to feel truly included. Even though the Yukon is in many ways the only place I have ever felt I truly belonged. So I know that growing up queer there made me tough. I know that leaving my family and hometown and moving to the big city and coming out as trans, I'm facing down all those challenges that came with embracing my authentic self have made me resilient.
Just a taste of Ivan Coyote, and we'll, of course, have more chance to learn a little bit more about them, and that will hopefully get us excited to welcome them as a speaker as we celebrate our affirming anniversary, a milestone affirming anniversary in January. Many Christmas gatherings coming up. I just want to say a word about one of them. This Wednesday is our annual Blue Christmas gathering. This is a time to recognize that Christmas is not always a joyous and festive time. There are a lot of things going on in our lives. It may be grief, it may be loss or challenge. It may be our looking at the world around us and the global situation and finding it hard to celebrate. This is a time to honor all of those emotions and to recognize that Christmas can be for everyone regardless of how we feel. We'll honor all of those emotions with some meditative music and readings and candle lighting. We'll seek hope and comfort with each other to celebrate Christmas in a more low-key way that honors however we might be feeling about it. So you're all welcome. Please feel welcome Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock. Shell and Judy, did you have some things to say about our festive giveaway today? Shell does. Great. Come on up. Thank you, Shell.
Is this on?
It's on.
Hooty hoo. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Kind of excited to be making an announcement. I'm pretty new here, but I'd just like to remind everybody that today is the day if you have donations to bring in for the Bissell Center. Today's the day to get them in. Gifts are welcome. Monetary donations are very welcome as well. Cash, checks. If you do write a check, be sure to make it out to the Bissell Center and not to SSUC. It makes it a bit simpler. And I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody who has donated. We're really helping make a difference for children, toddlers through teenagers who are experiencing hard times this Christmas. It's really nice, and yeah, thank you so much.
I have a plan, Richard. It is Human Rights Day, and we want to hear today from Marg and Emmy all about this day and ways we might take action. Thanks, Marg.
I don't know whether you know that today is the 10th of December is Human Rights Day, when people all around the world write letters in protest for people who are wrongly treated and for those who have the courage to speak to power. For many years, Emmy, Henry, and I have been members of Amnesty International, and I don't know whether you know that Amnesty International was started in 1961 by one Englishman, of course, Peter Benenson, a Labour lawyer who was travelling on the London Underground when he read an article about two Portuguese students who had been sentenced to 7 years in prison for drinking a toast to freedom. He wrote a letter in protest, and that sparked a movement, just like the sign for peace sparked a movement. So never underestimate what one person can do. You know, you in your small corner and I in mine, we can make a difference. I haven't been very active in Amnesty latterly, but there's so much going on in the world, I just felt I had to come again and remind you about all the people in the world who are suffering and need our support. And I know we can't save them in every place, but we can make a difference to one person at a time. Amnesty publishes a list of 10 different cases that you might wish to support. And Emmy and I looked at them all, and then we picked out 3. We thought you'd be here all morning if we told you about the whole 10. But you can go online and look it up and see. And what we've done is, I don't know whether I've got pictures of the people that we chose, and then we have printed off letters. So all you have to do is read the letter and sign it, and then Emmy and I will post them for you. I don't post very much anymore, it's mostly on email, but okay. This is a picture, well, you can see that, of Rocky Miles. Now, Rocky Miles is nearly on our doorstep. He's in Alabama, and I thought they got rid of the death penalty, but he's still on death row and has been there for, what does it say, 3 years or something. I mean, it's primitive, isn't it? Anyway, Rocky, can I read the whole thing to you? Is it too long? Rocky Myers is described by those who know him as gentle and kind. He loves his siblings, children and grandchildren who adore him. He plays drums in his church choir. He was diagnosed with an intellectual disability at the age of 11. He has a hard time reading and remembering dates or times. One night in 1991, his life changed forever in the town of Decatur, Alabama. An elderly white woman was murdered in a majority black neighborhood. Rocky, who is black, lived across the street despite no evidence linking him to the crime scene, except for a video cassette recorder that belonged to the victim, which he maintains he found abandoned in the street. And Rocky was convicted of murder on that premise. Anyway, that's one case. The next one, Ahmed Mansour. I know I asked you if I could read it, but I am anyway. Ahmed's locked it up for speaking truth to power. And like many journalists right now, he was a journalist, and he's really suffered because of that. Before his arrest, Ahmed was the last voice in the United Arab Emirates, providing the rest of the world with credible, independent information about human rights abuses in the country. He regularly drew attention to the detention, torture, and unfair trials of dissenters. He spoke about problems with the judicial system and national laws that violate international laws. Ahmed is paying a high price. In March 2017, the United Arab Emirates security forces raided his home, arrested him, and for a year, no one knew where he was. In May 2018, Ahmed was sentenced to 10 years in prison for insulting the United Arab Emirates, among other charges. The third person we chose was Rita Karasotova, and I could pronounce it, Emmy. Emmy said, choose names we can read. Rita Karasotova loves spending time with her children, practicing yoga and sewing chapans, the traditional quilted jackets worn by people of Kyrgyzstan. But since October 2022, Rita's life has been turned upside down. She was held in a cramped cell for months, had no access to medical care, and couldn't see or speak to her family. Now she's under house arrest and has a strict curfew. Rita's a human rights defender and an expert in civic governance. For over a decade, she dedicated her life to providing independent legal advice, helping those whose rights had been violated by a corrupt and unreliable legal system. So many people who are working for human rights around the world are being imprisoned just for that reason. And I'm sure most of you know that. Anyway, I thought it was time we did something. So Amnesty also asks you to light a candle today and put it in your window as a symbol of standing up for human rights. And we've also put candles on the table at the back, so feel free to take a candle, light it, and put it in your window. And on my fridge, I keep a part of the Constitution about Canadian Charter, from the Charter of Human Rights. And that was given to me by Anne McCracken how many years ago? Probably 30 years ago. But we shouldn't underestimate the value of that. And it doesn't mean the right to not wear a mask when you're impacting someone else's health. It means real human rights are being abused around the world. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I hope you'll sign the letters.
If you take my reflection, you have to give my reflection. To another piece of difficult work that we do as a congregation, and that is when we love each other, we sometimes have to say goodbye. Joanne and Bob Harden have been long-time members of this community, and as a beautiful and wonderful couple whom we've celebrated many times with over the years. Bob and Joanne connected to many groups within the church, but most recently to our count team. They were faithful at wanting to contribute behind the scenes in that way. Joanne, a long time member of our congregational care team, organizing folks around memorial receptions and all the other ways that we care for each other. And this beautiful couple has had their challenges over the last short time. Bob's kind of steady and slow decline, and to which Joanne labored and cared for him with great care, and then herself, in just a very short time, had a quick decline of her health. And Joanne died at 3 a.m. on Wednesday morning. And Bob died at 3 p.m. on Wednesday afternoon. What a beautiful end to a love story. Neither one of them needing to be alone for long. We will have the opportunity to celebrate their lives in the coming days and weeks, and we'll know more details as we go through the week ahead. So for now, let's honor their life, their lives and their living as we sing, as is our custom, a song that reminds us that their light continues to shine. They are safe in the undying light of love.
Safe
How's that? Yay. Let's see if that works. Needed some excitement in her voice.
Once upon a time, there was a church getting ready for the annual Christmas pageant. Okay, everyone, we don't have much time to rehearse, so let's get underway. Matt, Lucy, got your scripts? Places, everyone. Take it from the top.
Oh, look, there's the Magi. They do seem kind of early to me. Shouldn't they come later in this story?
They shouldn't come at all. There are no magi in this.
Really? I'm sure I saw them somewhere. Right here. There came Magi from the east to Jerusalem. Then later, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them till it came and stood over where the young child was.
Star?
Yeah, it led them to baby Jesus in Bethlehem, and they went in and gave him gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Diapers and something for colic. Might have been more useful.
Well, that's a good point.
Well, I don't see any of this in the script. It's got to be a mistake. Oh, thank goodness. I know they're in the script.
Who's in the script?
The shepherds.
The what?
The shepherds and their flock.
I don't see any shepherds in the script. Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. Right here. And there were shepherds in the same country, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night.
But why shepherds? It's a story about a baby, not sheep.
The shepherds said to one another, "Let us go now unto Bethlehem and see this thing which has come to pass."
Lucy, I swear, I can't find anything in here about shepherds. It's got to be a mistake.
Hey, wait a second. Where'd they go? They're supposed to wait for the angels. Where are the angels? According to the script, angels give the shepherds instructions to find baby Jesus.
Hang on. There's something about an angel in here, too.
Not just an angel, but a multitude of the heavenly hosts praising.
Whoa, I don't know where that came from, but I've got an angel right here talking to Joseph. Buena idea. Is this turned on? Yeah. Another. How about now? No? No, it was on before. It's on now? Yeah. Yes. Good. Just a second. I gotta have my spot. Okay.
What?
We're good.
What did you say?
And what did I say where? An angel talks to Joseph.
That's what I thought you said. But the script says an angel talks to Mary.
Mary, but it says right here, an angel appeared to him in a dream and said, Joseph, son of David.
Actually, the script says the angel Gabriel was sent to a virgin espoused to a man whose name was Joseph of the house of David, and the virgin's name was Mary.
I don't know, Lucy. You seem to be having a lot of problems with your script. I think I'm just going to skip with mine.
Problems with my script? I don't think there's any problems with my script. The problem is your script.
Cue the animals.
What's happening? Where did all these animals come from?
Yay! This is my favorite part.
Your favorite part? They're not in the script. We've got to do something. Can somebody please help us? There are wild animals here.
Oh, hush, Matt. They're not wild animals. They're barnyard animals. Everything's okay.
Okay. How can it be okay when animals are roaming around a new baby? It's not safe and it's not sanitary.
Calm down, Matt. Jeez, there must have been animals because it says Mary brought forth her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger.
Isn't a manger a box for animals' foods? Gross.
So Mary and Joseph were probably staying in a place where animals were.
Well, I don't see that. Why would people stay in a stable with a baby? Plus, the script says that the Magi saw the child and his mother upon entering the house.
I see. The script says they were there because there was no room for them in the inn. Finally, here's Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus.
At last, we can agree on something.
Yeah, they're in both scripts. Hey, Matt, do you hear what I hear?
Hear what?
The audience. I can hear them coming in. It must be almost time to start the pageant.
Good rehearsal, everyone. Just a few minutes to curtain. Check your props. Matt, Lucy, you ready?
I'm confused.
Places, everyone, places. Confused? What are you confused about?
I'm confused because Lucy's script talks about shepherds and mine about magi. And Lucy's script, the angel talks to Mary.
Angel talks to Joseph, and mine says the angel talks to Mary.
I don't know what they're doing with all these animals.
Mine has animals in the stable, but Matt says, whoops,
they don't fit.
Did I forget to say you've got two different scripts? Because in 325 AD, Roman Emperor Constantine and the Council of Nicaea decided to include in the New Testament two different accounts of Jesus' birth.
Yes.
yes,
You forgot.
Oops. Sorry about that. While the narratives share some common elements, there's an awful lot of divergence too. Over the centuries, the two accounts have gradually grown into one story, the one we're telling today.
How do we know what really happened?
Or if any of it happened at all, since decades went by before anyone actually wrote it all down.
Maybe it doesn't matter. Its value isn't in its historical accuracy, but in its power to communicate values and create shared community and meaning from generation to generation.
Well, I guess every time we tell it, we keep it going.
and growing like we are today.
Maybe it's just like we always say. This is a story that never happened and is always happening. And speaking of happening, curtain!
This is a work to help us better understand the sources of this season's stories.
It's like we got body percussion going here, doesn't it? Good idea.
I have a thought, not a reflection, just a thought. It's on. It's hard to tell up here, I tell you. The story and themes of our tradition have something to reveal to us about our march toward peace. In short, it's not a straight path. We've heard it said that peace begins at home. We remember this Lao Tzu quote, that if you don't have peace in your being and inner tranquility, then it's impossible to bring peace to your relationships, to your communities, and by extension, the world. But experience and connection with others tells us that there is no way one can truly have peace of any sort when living in a corrupt and warring place, or when living in a violent situation, or when living with pervasive danger, or where living when even your identity to be truly yourself is not safe, where every day is a test of survival. The only way to personal peace, we've learned by standing with and beside and for others, the only way to personal peace is by removing those external threats to every other kind of peace. So this peace thing goes both ways. It's not a straight path or a simple equation. We are all on this path toward peace. We all would like to see it happen. We all want to feel peace, inner peace. We all would like to see peace in the world as intimately as in our own bodies, to as far away as Gaza, Israel, Ukraine, Las Vegas, name any place where violence exists. We're all walking this switchback trail together in one way or another. This season is about waiting. In that childlike way, how we wait for Christmas, because it's exciting and there's presents under the tree. But in the more profound, grown-up way, where we wait, along with waiting for light and longer days, we're waiting for the values and principles of this season to really take hold. What would it take for peace and hope and love and joy to really make their appearance? So the question that a day to honor the peace of Christmas asks us is, are we ready to wait? And are we ready to act? Waiting is a metaphor for life. We have to wait, but not passively. The heart of the matter is what we speak about when we talk about those amnesty folks who are imprisoned for their work of human rights. That waiting is what we talk about when we talk about the work of making someone's Christmas at the Bissell Center just a little bit lighter and brighter. Almost everything we do is about that paradox between waiting and working. The heart of the matter is truly, what are we willing to give up in order that peace might be possible? The effort toward a just peace requires our working while we wait expectantly. 20th century Christian theologian Paul Tillich said that peace, like anything new, appears when and where it chooses. We cannot force it and we cannot calculate it. Readiness to work for it is the only condition for it. Are we ready to wait? And are we ready to act while we wait? May our waiting for peace this season be a radical one, a busy one, an attentive wait that seeks peace both within us and for those who need it most. May we indeed all dare peace together on this complex and challenging path we walk.
Chris, I believe we missed one announcement earlier in the proceedings.
We'll get it when the time's right, Arthur. Thank you.
change the light and take the wisdom we share and the community we